Are you a motherless daughter? What if we told you we have 20 years worth of truth treasures, pearls of wisdom, and diamonds of hope to help you with your mother loss? We do, and we share all things mother loss on Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, a podcast by the Motherless Daughters Ministry. Give yourself some self-care and listen as we discuss grief, regret, anger, redemption, closure, and so much more.
Hello, I'm Gladys Bell, your host for today. In this episode, we are reviewing the book, Will I Ever Be Enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers by Dr. Karyl McBride. One of our facilitators, Cathy DiBella, shares her thoughts on the book and how it can help women who have a narcissistic mother. Let's listen to her words as she reviews the book.
I could not recall attachment, closeness, memories of the scent of mother's perfume, the feel of her skin, the sound of her voice singing in the kitchen, the solace of her rocking, holding, and comforting me, the intellectual stimulation and joy of being read to. I knew this was not natural. Will I Ever Be Good Enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers by Karyl McBride. Without understanding our mothers and what their narcissism did to us, it is impossible to recover. That is why Dr. McBride decided to write this book. She couldn't find a book to help with what she was feeling. The book is broken into 3 parts. Part 1 explains the problem of maternal narcissism. Part 2 shows the impact of the problem, its many effects, and how it plays out in a daughter's lifestyles. Part 3 is a roadmap for recovery. Let's explore each chapter a little more deeply. Chapter 1 discusses the emotional burden you carry. These can include oversensitivity, indecisiveness, self-consciousness, lack of self-trust, inability to succeed in relationships, lack of confidence, regardless of your accomplishments, and a general sense of insecurity. Dr. McBride also includes why focus on mothers and daughters, what narcissism is, and a questionnaire to see what narcissistic traits your mother might have had. Chapter 2, The Empty Mirror, identifies 10 common relationship issues, known as stingers, that occur between mothers and daughters when the mother is narcissistic. Chapter 3 explains the 2 kinds of distorted love of a narcissistic mother, the engulfing and the ignoring mother. She discusses 6 types of narcissistic mothers, all within the engulfing or ignoring spectrum. Chapter 4 is all about Daddy and his role in the narcissistic nest. Sisters and brothers are also discussed, which ends this chapter with information on the whole family dynamic. Chapter 5 tells us how important it is to the narcissistic mother to support the right image and hide profound pain. Chapter 6 is about the high-achieving daughter and how this can be a gift that provides an inner drive that others may not have to pursue their dreams. Dr. McBride also shares how this can become harmful if you don't take care of yourself, seek only external validation, and cannot give yourself credit for what you accomplish. Chapter 7 discusses the self-sabotaging daughter. This daughter takes her anger out on herself, unwittingly sabotaging her own efforts. Some of the symptoms are giving up, numbing the pain with various addictions, staying stuck in self-destructive lifestyles, and underachievement. Chapter 8 talks about how common it is for daughters of narcissistic mothers to try to fill their emotional void and emptiness with inappropriate love relationships. It is also about how some learn that love is equivalent to what someone can do for you or what you can do for them. Many unconsciously choose their romantic partners based on this distorted love, which sets them up for dependent or codependent relationships or no relationships at all. Chapter 9 hollers, "Help, I'm becoming my mother." This is a fear of emotionally orphaning your children or harming them in some way. Worrying about not feeling good enough to do the job, whether you carry that nagging belief around with you everywhere, or because you know you lack certain skills you will need as a parent. Whatever its origin, the fear is very real. Chapter 10 is about the first steps to breaking the legend. It tells us that the things that happen to us are important to acknowledge. They play into who we are today, but they do not define who we are. By working on recovery, you refuse to allow your past to tell you who you are. You accept and face your past as part of you, and you move on. Chapter 11 separates us from our mother, a part of and apart from. To become authentic and whole, this is the ultimate goal in recovering from a narcissistic mother. In here, you learn to individuate from your family of origin, the separation criteria, the key to recognizing yourself as an individual woman, and how to realize you only have to be good enough for yourself. Chapter 12 is about becoming the woman you truly are. This chapter addresses two serious issues: how to erect and strengthen your internal mother, which Dr. McBride describes as the intuitive voice that speaks to you and wants to nurture, love, and mother you. Secondly, you explore how to understand and manage the collapse. Dr. McBride describes this as how daughters of a narcissistic mother feel as if she just popped their self-esteem balloon and all the air rushed out, and they need a bit of time to restabilize and refill that balloon. This chapter also gives several exercises to do to accomplish finding your authentic self. Chapter 13 looks at dealing with mother during recovery if she is still alive. You've changed, she hasn't. You must explore ways for you to manage your relationship with her and remain healthy yourself. Dr. McBride takes a look at the untreatables, being those mothers that have more traits that fit the disorder and are less likely to be candidates for successful treatment. Toxic mothers, who may be too toxic to be around, and the civil connection, where there is no attempt to be emotionally close, just civil. There is also an excellent section on setting boundaries. Chapter 14, the final chapter, addresses ending the narcissistic legacy. This chapter is mainly about how to treat your children so they receive what you did not, thus breaking the cycle. It also includes how to be healthy in other relationships, such as friendships and romance. Through reading this book, you have opened yourself to a new, fearless way of thinking and living your life. You know how to express yourself and your needs directly and clearly. You have freed yourself from unrealistic expectations and can follow your own values and passions. You are on your way to recovery.
We're going to take a short break to tell you about an opportunity, and then we'll come right back to the podcast.
Mother loss is a lifelong grief journey. The scars go deep and the pain is relentless. It affects every aspect of a woman's being, regardless of age of loss or how the loss occurred. The hole is deep and filled with many emotions. You are invited to our online support community with the Motherless Daughters Ministry online support groups, focusing on the journey and the difficult obstacles that get in the way of healing. To learn more about our weekly support group offerings, visit us online at motherlessdaughtersministry.com.
Now, before we go, allow me to share with you some reflections from our podcast administrator, Sarah Lynn Wells. Thank you, Cathy, for such a thorough review of the book. Hopefully, hearing this has helped give you a better idea of what is in the book. If you have read this book, perhaps there were parts that you related to or that caught your attention. Having read it as well, there are so many helpful sections that could relate to my own experiences. Perhaps you have not experienced a narcissistic mother, but have had a family relationship or friendship with a narcissist. There is still information you can likely glean from this book, especially if that person played a significant role in your childhood. Understanding more about how narcissism has affected the way you see yourself and others can help to provide healing. If you can relate to this narcissistic mother dynamic, we have some resources you may be interested in. You can check our show notes for all the links. We have a link to the book Cathy reviewed, We also have linked our support group for daughters who have experienced mother loss due to narcissism. This group meets on the third Monday of the month. It is a 1-hour online support group to help you connect with others who really get the struggle of this dynamic. Each week, we explore a different topic related to narcissism in parenthood and its effects on you. We also have a 6-week course coming up, Rediscover Your Inner Nurturer, Healing from Emotional Abandonment. It is an online course focusing on women who have experienced a void left by an emotionally absent mother. Together, we will delve into the nuances of emotional abandonment, identify its impact, and discover empowering ways to support your healing process. If you have been affected by a narcissistic mother, we hope you know you are not alone. We pray you find healing and community, whether it's through a course, book, or simply hearing the stories of others who have been there. You can check out our blog library and other podcast episodes for additional stories of women who know the pain you are dealing with. Please remember, you are not alone.
Thank you for joining us here at Motherless Daughters Ministry. If you need more nurturing words, we encourage you to have a listen to other episodes of this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or follow button so you can join us again next time.